Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Fret to Fret, where I make it my goal to bring you practical tips and advice that will help you become a better musician. On today's episode, we're going to be going over 5 tips that I think are very useful for beginner guitar players. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. Tip number 1, be consistent. Think about it like going to the gym. You're not going to get rock hard abs or big muscles or burn body fat or anything like that if you're really inconsistent with your approach to going and getting fit. Same thing with playing guitar. You need regular, consistent practice time to get better results in the end. And that means, if that means every other day, every day, a couple times a week, that's fine. As long as it's consistent and you're staying consistent. You're not going to get anywhere if it's just random, chaotic practice time every now and then whenever you can pick up a guitar. Same thing with going to the gym. You got to have a plan, you got to have something you're going to do, and do it. Brings us to number 2, have realistic goals. A lot of you probably picked up a guitar thinking, oh, I'm going to be the next Eddie Van Halen, or I'm going to be some shred master or whatever in a very short amount of time. The reality is that's probably not going to happen. So it's good to set realistic goals. Set a time frame, 3 months, 6 months, and you want to learn the fundamentals. You want to go over the basics and be consistent with those, like I said, to kind of build on each other. So it's a constantly compounding event. It's not just random stuff here and there, but you're actually executing a plan that's going to get you somewhere in the long run. Number 3, don't compare yourself to others. This is a tricky one because there's a difference, between looking up to someone and drawing inspiration and letting their success and their achievements kind of dictate whether or not you're successful or you've achieved anything. You may have only been playing a few months or a few weeks, but hey, celebrate those small victories. Don't let somebody else who says, oh, well, I learned this and that in a short amount of time, dictate whether or not, you are successful or how you feel about what you're doing. You're in a different place, you're a different person, you have a different skill set, you have a different approach. It's completely different. And so just don't get caught in the trap of, letting the people that you look up to kind of crush your sense of wonderment and moving forward. Number 4, this is another tricky one. You want to be diverse. Don't be afraid to listen to and appreciate other types of music. A lot of people get caught in a trap of, I listen to heavy metal and that's what I want to play. I want to play heavy metal. When in reality is, diversity is what actually makes you a better musician overall in the long run. So for example, one of my favorite drummers is a guy named Danny Carey from the band Tool. You may have heard of him. Tool, notorious for long kind of metal, prog rock type of music, but Danny Carey's background is primarily in jazz, East Indian percussion. He studied music theory in college, so he's got a very diverse, eclectic background. So don't be afraid to be a little weird and think a little bit outside of the box in terms of what you're listening to, where you're drawing inspiration from. There's some great guitar players out there that you might never ever even hear of because you're limiting yourself so much because they're not heavy metal or they're not what you want to listen to. So just don't be afraid to be a little weird and think outside the box and be diverse. Number 5 is, I think, the most important one out of all these. And it's gonna sound a little weird, but I want you to know the difference. Number 5 is practice. Now, there's a fine line between practicing and playing. Just because you pick up a guitar or you pick up weights every day at the gym doesn't mean you're actually executing some focused plan. You want consistency, you want focus, You want to have a plan of attack of what you're actually going to do. What is it that you want out of this? Do you want to learn how to be a lead guitar player? Okay, let's break down how to become a lead guitar player. You're going to need to know scales. You're going to need to know modes. You're going to need to know, different techniques that apply to that. And you're going to need to break those down individually and kind of tackle them one by one. So like today, I'm going to work on, the major scales. I'm going to practice for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm just going to go up and down the major scales. I'm going to set a metronome, and I'm going to go attack that and practice that and be methodical with what I'm doing. After that, after you've put your time in on that day, go ahead, jam, play, do whatever you want, but make sure that you're staying consistent and you're having actual, fruitful, deliberate practice time. Don't just pick up a guitar and think that because you're playing it every day that counts as a practice time. Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed that video. Again, I'm Fret to Fret, where I make it my goal to bring you practical tips and advice that will help you become a better musician. If you like this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, it really helps. Stay tuned for more content just like this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.